Oh, I need to go this way. Hello, welcome to BG Krupnik. My name is Glenda,
I'm Brett.
and we are here on our day
Three.
three of this fast. And we wanted to share some of the benefits, and it's going to be the spiritual benefits as well as overcoming food addictions, physical benefits, developing self control, and purposeful living. And so, do you want to start today? What have you noticed today?
So today's day three. It's both getting a little tougher, but and good at the same time. So, um, thoughts of hunger, have definitely crept in a little more. Just the facts of a fast, but at the same time, digestion wise, I can see that I'm being cleaned out
Yeah.
on the inside.
Yep.
So it's a really good reset for the digestive system on the body.
What did I do?
You
Oh,
dropped
I
it.
apologize. Sorry.
It's a good reset on the digestive system for the body. Um, it's also sparking more of what we wanted, which is less distractions, more introspection, more time in prayer, and just thinking about the focus that we want for our lives and how we can be a positive impact in the communities and those around us. So that's been additional benefits. When the hunger comes, you turn to those things. Other than that, it has not been as difficult as I might imagine yet.
Today didn't feel as difficult. Yesterday felt difficult. At least for me, it was.
It can feel more difficult when I think about it's 21 days total, but here
I
we
try not
are
to think about it.
already.
I just take it a day at a time.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost done with day three, so a
Yeah.
seventh of the way there. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
when you said about the cleansing,
making lots of noise.
I am gonna make more noise. I am taking some paper, and I just want to do an illustration, and this is gonna go both for physical. Give me a second. And spiritual aspects of a fast. Okay, when we are eating, we're just stuffing our face and our physical body and our stomach. Think of it as the spirit man and the physical man. And I'm just winging this. I had this revelation today. And as you continue to eat your regular food, you continue to put in there more and pack it more and pack it more. And what this does is you are not necessarily cleansing it, but spiritually speaking, you also use food as comfort. So that food is also pushing down emotions that you are not letting come out because you continue to fill yourself in with food. So, besides physical garbage, we also have emotional garbage that the food just suppress. And that ugliness is coming out physically. We have experienced some clashes, stuff that we didn't notice until now we are fasting. That's coming out. So it's coming out physically, and it's coming out, like spiritually and emotionally, and it's coming out physically into the toilet as well. We are being cleansed. And the conflict that we have had this morning is not a negative thing. We would think it's a negative thing, but the fact that we are fasting and that we are able to be quiet enough for these things to come out, that means they are going to be addressed, and it's going to cause closeness between us. And he had no idea that I was going to talk about this.
Nope.
This is completely unscripted and on the spot, because I've been in here spending some quiet time. He's been in there working, but and I had to work today, so I was out, and I've been meditating on these things where if I would have been eating food, I would not have thought of that. I would not have even thought about the stuff and the conflict that we had this morning, to think that it could have been suppressed. and I would have thought, we're just going to go about life. I would go have lunch, and then we would bring lunch. And because food connects, we would have been connected through food and not address the conflict that we had, as well as not address the negative effects that food can have on our physical body, and how little we need, how much we eat. So that was the physical illustration I wanted to share.
I love it. I love that Glenda brought this up. We don't mind being transparent, talking about our relationship, bringing it into this, because again, when we're talking about mindful eating and everything else, mindfulness is a huge part of this, and we want to get healthier mentally as well as physically. And I love what she's saying. I've definitely heard before that if you have no conflict in your marriage, you better beware, because that means that people have kind of checked out, or you're coasting, and there's definitely stuff that is happening that isn't being addressed. So the fact that she's right, maybe we were both a little snappy or whatever it was this morning. Maybe part of it is the effects from the fast, but also when the conflict came up, we were able to address it. We were able to pause. We were able to apologize to each other. We were able to own the things that we did, and we were able to pray afterwards and send each other out on our day with it resolved, with us feeling good about each other, and about having a positive conflict resolution, which is again the goal, right? For couples, for marriages, for anyone who is having any kind of relationship. You don't have to be married, but just in your interpersonal relationships, we want there to be healthy conflict with resolution, rather than what a year ago I was doing was ignoring my feelings, eating food, stuffing the feelings down, and on that cycle. And on the outside, I'm saying everything's fine, but on the inside, a lot is happening that's causing stress and anxiety and depression, maybe, and other things and we're not even addressing it, so we don't even know. And so we're hurting ourselves mentally and physically because I'm piling on donuts and pizza to self-medicate from the thoughts. Other people may be using prescription drugs or whatever else to medicate for the thoughts, rather than let's stop, figure out what emotions are going on, deal with them in a healthy way.
Yep. And all of that is great. And
delicious water.
Yeah. And also, I had a revelation from God on a particular portion of scripture that I was meditating on, that I've been meditating on since the second day of the fast. And that since the first day of the fast, actually. And what I jotted down on that, I'm just going to share this portion. It said, sleep on whatever situation came up instead of acting hastily and, trying to fix the situation my way. And something came up today that made me want to address it right away with people. And God prompted me and immediately said, remember the revelation that I gave you. Remember the word. It is first for you. And I had to take a step back and pray and ask God and say, God, I'm going to sleep on this. I'm lifting this up into prayer to you, which was also one of the reasons why I might have been snappy with prayer, because something came up and I was dealing with between God revealing something to me and me not wanting to address it in an ugly way and having to wait on God. And so now I have to sleep on this and then, let God, I lifted it up and let God handle it. So, just when we take our focus, and mindful eating is about taking our focus off of food. We're doing this for a transitional and spiritual aspect of our life, but because we've both struggled with food addiction, we are documenting and wanting to share for the benefit of the community, of the people who are interested in overcoming fast food addiction, that there are benefits when we because many people eat, like Brett was saying, to comfort, for emotional eating,
Even in this mindful eating journey as a calorie counter, um, I've been losing weight and calorie counting, but I probably told myself a lie or limiting belief that I can't go a day without some bit of candy or cookies or ice cream that I was eating every day, adding into my calorie counting. Not until this fast, where I'm only on liquids and mostly water, am I realizing I can go 3 days and not have any of that stuff right now. And I'm going to go 21 days without this stuff. So this fast is helping me prove to myself or take off limiting beliefs that I was living by when I wasn't telling myself I'm not going to have any food. I was just telling myself I'm going to limit myself to calories. Every day I felt like I needed to get my sweets in. I needed to get certain stuff in. Mm-hmm. And I was making sure I did that, even if it meant, I'm going to go over my calories. Now I have to go to the gym to burn it off. I haven't gone to the gym in 3 days, giving my body a little bit of a rest because I had been going extra because of all of what I was eating. But now I'm realizing, wow, like, how many days can I go and not have this stuff? How much easier will it be once we're off the fast, when I'm in my regular day routine, to be able to tell myself and know that it's true that I don't need to have any sweets today.
Yep.
I don't need certain things.
And I'm an intuitive eater and I don't count calories. And, which is funny, we shared today a reel on me putting together a smoothie, and he's saying how anxious he is of how I am putting stuff without counting calories. But that was my way of building a healthy relationship with food, to not have to track, because I did track calories for many years. And I found that in the last few years, like right before I stopped tracking calories, I felt like I was restricting myself to the point that I was just over. Like it was unhealthy for me to track, and it is unhealthy. And mindful eating is about knowing what is good for you. I know right now tracking is not for me. I may do it in the future again. For Brett, he knows that he needs to track because of how he wants to eat. Whatever that is for you, we don't know, but we want to help you find out. But I will say this. I've been on an intuitive journey for, I don't know, what do you say, 2 years, maybe more, about. And I know that I can decrease the intuitive eating journey. If you do research about it, I've read books on it, and I can't remember the name of the author. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
They say basically that your body will naturally eventually heal in such a way that you will have such a relationship with food, such a good relationship with food, that you're not going to want to mindless eat or feed yourself or overfeed yourself. And that's the journey I'm in. I have been successful in maintaining my weight for about 2 years, maybe. The last year without prescription medication, about a year without prescription medication, but I tried to, even though I don't think that worked. But I don't want to lie, I was trying those, but I've removed all of that completely because it's not sustainable. So now I've maintained my weight. Do I think I'm going to lose weight? I absolutely think I'm going to lose weight. I have seen it in other people. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. When you asked about how long you were on this intuitive eating journey, I remember that it basically started with you trying different diets, like carnivore diet and other types of diets. You're like, completely cutting out certain food groups. And through that, you started discovering what felt good to your gut and what felt good to you mentally. And so, for a while you were doing okay on carnivore, but then you realized your body was missing. And so you started adding certain things in. And after trying different diets intuitively and checking what the results were through journaling and other stuff, you landed on, hey, I do well with high protein, high fats, but low carb.
Right.
So after trying different diets, you kept what was good for you, both your gut health and your mental health, and went with that.
Exactly.
With me, I have a lot less food sensitivities. My mood doesn't ride up and down based on what I eat or don't eat. And my gut can take almost anything. It doesn't go up or down with what I eat or don't eat. So that's why, my mood was or I wasn't able to stick to a lifestyle where I cut out foods that I love. So I can't do a carb-free diet. I can't do a keto diet. I did it for a time, lost weight, and gained it all back because I do like to have those things once in a while. So that's why the calorie counting works best for me. But even being on the calorie counting now, at the beginning, I was like, oh, I can put 1,000 calories of my day towards junk food and 800 towards regular food, and I'm still losing weight. My body is now starting to crave more nutrients, more things. So even doing calorie counting, my body's starting to intuitively ask for more of what it needs. And I've been enjoying more fruit smoothies instead of ice cream as desserts at night. And I've been enjoying more salads at lunch sometimes instead of sandwiches or something like that. So
Yeah. So with that, that's basically how we're going to develop self-control. And this, just so you know, this fast, we've been fasters. We've fasted many times throughout our Christian walk. But last year we published a 21-day fast and prayer, fasting and prayer into and through your next season, that has been published on an app called YouVersion. That is a free Bible app with a bunch of different kinds of plans. And this fast we started it last year, this particular structure of 21 days with the devotional. And this is something that's going to become yearly for me. I'm not going to speak for him, but it's going to become yearly for me. My second platform is at Influence for Purpose, and that is something I want to encourage for as long as the Lord leads. Right now, it feels like it's something that's going to be every year, and it's almost like a reset for me. This is going to help develop self-control, and I believe each year it's just going to do better, not just physically, but spiritually as well.
I think I will do it every year. I don't know that it'll always be food.
Right,
Like last
exactly.
year, it was video games because I was addicted to a first-person shooter game that I used to tell myself was my way to relax, but actually it used to make me anxious and more competitive. And I realized once I quit it, I was in a better mood after those 21 days. Like, I'm in a better mood not playing this game, not doing it as much as I'm doing it. I have time to do other things. So I ended up not going back to it after the fast.
What we're going to fast and what I'm going to fast, I don't know. It may change next year, but that I want to set aside 21 days to consecrate myself to God, to do a reset is something. This is my goal. And I share this with someone that commented about fasting. The goal is a lifestyle of consecration, and we look to get consecrated daily. But just like how we lose track of our eating and habits and healthy habits and things like that, sometimes we can go, and not consecrate ourselves the way that we should. The goal, the end goal, is a lifestyle of consecration where the 21-day fast is just something you do throughout the year anytime, and it's like, okay, I don't need to eat today, I'm going to spend time with God, or I don't need to do this today, I'm going to spend time with God, without feeling like you're forcing it. And I'm not saying that we are forcing the time we spend with God. I'm not saying that you are forcing it, but it's just going on a greater, deeper level. And I know I can definitely use that because it's easy to get distracted with work, with the day-to-day, issues of life, when, bread.
Just food in general. So that we can spend so much of our day thinking about what are we going to eat? What am I going to eat next? What am I going to snack? What am I going to do? Like, at least for me, with how much I was controlled by food when I was emotionally eating, it's a big relief.
It is.
It just helps drown out the distraction and helps focus on what's important.
And even though we are fasting from solid foods, we're both doing similar fasts. My boundary is not to eat after dinner, so I am looking to not have the smoothie after dinner. Like, I am having one smoothie. So far, it's been one smoothie a day. I'm looking to not have anything after my dinner time. And it's just basically, I'm gonna keep my boundary, and that is how I am growing the muscle of self-control. That's what we're doing. We're growing the muscle of self-control. We are overcoming food addiction. So those are spiritual benefits: physical, developing self-control so that we can live for purpose. And one last benefit that I noticed, which was very odd, but like a couple of days ago, before I started the fast, I mentioned to my mom that I yawn a lot. I yawn a lot regularly. I don't know if you noticed that, but I'm not necessarily tired, and I yawn all the time when I eat normal.
It's a lack of oxygen yawning.
But because since I fasted, I don't yawn. And it's not that I don't feel tired. I do not have the energy that I would necessarily have when I am not fasting. But I noticed that I don't know, is there's like more alertness that I don't yawn. I don't know what the science behind that is. If anyone knows, they can let us know. But I am gonna research it. But I don't yawn a lot, which I like because sometimes I yawn. I'm at church and I'm yawning, or I'm in front of people and I'm yawning, and they probably think this girl is bored, and I'm not. I'm so interested. I love learning. I love, I'm very, inquisitive, and I love learning and all that. But sometimes I yawn a lot. So anyways, these are the benefits. If you are interested in a mindful eating journey to overcome food addiction, develop self control, and find what works for you, go to the description box below. We'll have the resources there. Feel free to comment here, to email us to support@bgkrupnik.com, and either one of us can get back to you. And
If you click the link, we have a free resource for you, a free
mindful eating journal
to help you figure out what you're eating, why you're eating, when you're eating it, the motivation, so you can start to see if you are emotionally eating or other reasons that you're turning to food,
yes,
not when you're not necessarily hungry, or which foods are serving you best and how you're feeling afterwards. So
yes,
definitely go get that free resource.
Yeah. So anyways, that's it for all. I want to end with a prayer. We are actually, there's a woman out there, and I don't know if they need help, but
we're looking outside because the hurricane
don't
is
want to go out
not
there and
hitting us,
check.
but we have some winds
Okay,
coming through.
he's gonna go and check, and I'm gonna close in prayer. Father, thank you so much for allowing us to be here, to be able to share with the community about our journey and how we can be a good influence to people that are watching us, Lord. I pray for their journey to overcoming food addiction, and that you help them, Lord, Holy Spirit, to remember that they do not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of your mouth. Father, if they don't know you, I pray that they come to know you, and we want them, Lord, to prosper and be in good health, even prosper in all things and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.